Yes, welcome back to part two with Dennis GIBBA. He is the Secretary General of United Gambian Front. This part we will be discussing the system and, of course, his political vision for this country. Dennis, if you were to define the system, because people talk about the system is the problem, system should change.
Yes.
How will you do that?
If I'm to define the system, I would say people mean the matrix. And what I mean by that is the political system as it stands. So when people say the system should change, what they mean is the political system, because that will do with power having to be involved in the process. So in my own understanding, when people are talking about system, they mean the political structure and how things are directed in the country, especially the economic
now
phase
looking
of
at
it.
that political setup, that you have a political leader, and the people have been made to believe that this figure, who I put in power to serve my welfare, I'm now in turn to be a servant of that person, instead of seeing that person that I have employed to do a job.
Yeah, I think it's all about mindset. The moment people understand that those in position of power are not there as their superiors, are not there as their bosses, but they are there as their servants and should be held accountable if they go astray. And they have the same power, just like they put them in, to put them out of office also. I think the moment people are aware of these things, they will never see themselves as inferiors to those in position of power, because the bottom line is power is in the hands of the masses. But are they aware of their strength? Because this strength only comes through unity. This is why the system always perpetuates division. So people should be aware of that. Yeah. So basically, I don't think that those in position of power, in fact, it should be servant leadership. When we talk about political leadership, it should be servant leadership. But because of ignorance and because of the norm that we normally see around, people tend to believe or think those in position of power are superior, but they are not.
Because I don't think it's the mindset that, okay, we should pay reference to people who are in authority and not even having the gut to point to where they are doing wrong and say, at that point, I don't think it should be done.
Yeah, okay? I think too much respect for authority as well, based on our religious teachings, based on our societal, or let's say societal norms. And school, the educational system, we are brought up to respect authority. So that also plays a part, because every one of us, you are from the society, the community, and the community will teach you that. You are going to school, school will teach you that. You are going to worship either in a Juma or in a church, and then it's the same, that you should respect those in positions of authority. So that is part of us. To a certain extent that we even feel that we are inferior to those people. Even when they go astray, we don't want to see that. We don't want to point out that they are going astray. We hide behind religious teachings that let's respect them, even when they don't earn it. And I think as far as respect is concerned, I think they should earn it. If you don't earn it, people have no obligation to respect you. You have to earn it from the people.
Yeah. And looking at it also, aside from that, people are too much depending on a particular individual to do a particular job. Instead of, because the minute you start to depend on people to do things for you, you have almost lost your freedom, lost your sense of, self-reliance to do things yourself, that you will have a whole community now waiting for one individual to do one thing. But if the whole community, decided that, wait, why should we wait for one person? And when we are, as many as we are, when we just think together, act together, we can solve this together. You have to wait for one person, either a politician or somebody to come.
I think, as you are saying this, my mind was lingering on something that I have experienced some time back. Just here, you saw this road is concrete to the Johnson. This is why it's called Concrete Johnson. But I did not explain to you how this road came about. We did not sit down and say that, okay, let's wait for the government. We start taking oyster shells from the river. And then that's what we use on this road. So when it was televised by GRTS back then, the former president saw it and was moved with how the community came together with no support just the residents alongside here, seeing that our road is dilapidated. We came up, put our resources together, go, all the youths, partake and bring those oyster cells and decorate here so that people can walk comfortable. So when the when the former president saw this, he was impressed and then supported. And this is how we get this road here. This is why in other Johnsons, you will not see things like this. This is the only Johnson that have the tar road from the main Johnsons to the riverside. That's the history behind it.
Okay.
So sometimes saying that so and so is responsible, yes, but if they are not doing it, the majority, in fact, from the majority, only one individual, you can put your resources together and then carry out the programs that you want, not necessarily having. It's true. If the person is failing in his responsibility to do it, you can do something about changing him. But for the meantime, before that time comes, make sure that you are also doing your own effort to make sure that you change certain things about your community or your vicinity. I think that will tell a lot. But the mentality of let's sit down, only one person is responsible, it will not work. Even the president, when it comes to development, it's not only the president who can do it. If the president is not living up to expectation, we ordinary citizens can live up to expectation, and that can at least make things better. I'm not saying it can change all, but it can make certain things better. You don't necessarily have to depend on only one person.
Yeah, and also when you look at the Gambian political setting, you will find that I don't know where you're going to stand, but you find that people are usually used as tools for election. Election comes, we have people running up and down telling us to vote for them. And then after we have voted, the next 5 years, we can't do nothing about what they are going to do, decisions they're going to make. So we have to be sitting here waiting for next 5 years
To change.
Okay? And now we become praise singers and dancers of the very people who we should hold accountable to the promises they have given to us.
I think in that regard, we have two sides of the coin, as I will always call it. I blame politicians on one side, but on the other side, I also blame the masses, because political figures are a reflection of the masses. I always say that. If the masses are dishonest, if the masses are incompetent, if the masses are sentimental, they produce political figures who will not bring any program as far as development is concerned. They only talk about sentiments. That's the basis on which you voted for the person, and that's exactly on the same basis that he's going to serve you. So, the politician in question also have a responsibility, whether the people voted you out of those reasons or not, but you, in one way or the other, find yourself in that position of power. You should be responsible enough and bring programs to develop your community or your constituency or whatever area you represent. That's how it should be, because we think at least you should be far ahead in terms of your thinking. This is why people voted for you. That's how it should be. But on the other side, we also, the masses, we should question ourselves. Are we voting for these political figures because of their ideas, content of character? Or are we voting for them based on sentiments like I see at the same ethnic group with him, I see at the same religious lineage with him, or he's my neighbor, or I know him, or at the end of the day, when he wins, I can get some personal benefits from it. These are things that we should also ask ourselves. But you'll find out in most cases, Gambians vote on this basis that I'm going to gain something out of it, not because he has the best idea, the best character to lead. No. In most cases, Gambians vote on other personal issues than content of character, knowledge and character. And integrity. And this is why I think most of our politicians are not living up to expectation, because they are reflecting exactly on what basis we voted for them.
Yeah, but you look at most of the people who are voting are ignorant. Excuse my word of using the word ignorant. What I mean is the awareness for the as far as politics is concerned, as to who they are in their own country, what their rights are, what they are expected to, as far as government or politicians is concerned. It's like they lack the knowledge of that, and deliberately the system has not educated the masses of the people to the level that no one will stand before them and mislead them.
Yeah, that's a factor. Ignorance is there. Ignorance is a factor. Yeah, I can't deny that ignorance contributes a lot towards that. Because if people are aware, they will not even think on that basis. They will want to hear your programs. How do you intend to do so and so development? Not how so and so ethnic group is a problem or so. Or you should vote for me based on ethnic sensitivity or security. I think the moment people are aware, nobody will be mad enough to even say that. So politicians always send a message based on what they are seeing on the ground. So if they are sending tribally sensitive message, it's because they are reading them from the people. If they are sending programs and sober things, it's because they know that the people that are listening to me are very sober and will not be moved by these issues that I'm talking about. So politicians are always reflecting what they see from the masses. So having the masses ignorant serves only the selfish interest of some. Them being aware, I think that serves the interest of the whole country. So ignorance can be a factor. I can't deny that.
Yeah. So, and then if you look at the idea as well, that is, this is a politician, and that is Dennis. Poor, doesn't have any breakfast, and I'm a politician, and I want your vote. I brought 3 bags of rice for you, and then I say, vote for me. Or I send my agents and say, vote for Sheriff, and then a box is placed before you. Sheriff Ablai Jalo, who are you going to vote for?
The one who feeds you, of
course, I feed you. I give you some money. So therefore, this politics of patronage, where you have politicians lavishing money to the poor people, just to win people's vote. At the end of the day, the masses of the people who are poor are left in the dungeon of poverty. The next 5 years, the politician will bring 1 or 2 little boreholes or 1 or 2 little pipe of electricity. Then the next, imagine for 5 good years, the only thing you can get from a government is water, borehole, or
it's crazy.
A simple electricity because election is coming, or a simple road, or a simple little hospital, or a simple little structure of school.
And the timing, it always comes when it is few months to elections, or when it's the year of election. And that comes back to people again. The reason why politicians are doing this is because they know that you can easily get support if you do these things. How about the one who is honest? And he has the best ideas, but is not wealthy or does not want to give you money just for the sake of giving you money because he thinks that that's not morally right. Will people vote for them? No. This is why, as I just said some time back, the decoration, no matter how beautiful it is not going to make sense to a hungry person. So no matter how beautiful your ideas are, at the end of the day, the masses will tend not to understand or will ignore it because they are looking for where they can earn a buck, where they can earn a living, where they can have somebody to support them financially, or where they can gain something at least. Here, what they fail to understand is, in my view, that 5 years, whatever the person have given you, he will gain multiple folds that amount. So that's nothing to what he will be getting when he is in position of power. But how about you? It means with that 1 bag of rice, 2 bag of rice, 3 bag of rice at most, you'll suffer for 5 years. Will that bag of rice or those 3 bags of rice sustain you here against the next 5 years? No.
That's the question.
So it's not even worth it. Just look out for somebody who you think is genuine and deserves to be in that position and can live up to expectation and bring some developments. Then you vote for that person. But 3 bags of rice, because that will not also solve your problem. You are just going to use it for some time, but it's not going to sustain you for 5 years. So after finishing the bag of rice within some months, you now sit and suffer for 5 good years. It's not even one. It's an insult to the intelligence of the people. But provided that people know it, that's another bottom line.